Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever the heck you are. Welcome to the first and last hit show on the Block 105 Radio. I'm your host, Mac Dubs. To my left is my co host, AJ Wichita. And down below is the man himself, the infinite man, Tim. How are you doing today, bro?
He froze. That's what happens when you're on live radio, right?
I guess so. little
Wow,
little
like a statue.
technical
He's not even
difficulty.
blinking. Like
Well, it's the best. Oh my gosh.
it's like stage fright or something. Yeah, this man goes out there and okay. Apparently, he got pissed off at me and decided to wow.
It's that
I,
connection. I swear, I know how it feels. 'Cause back home in West Virginia, dude,
down to Tennessee. Have you been moving where the good Lord speaks?
for sure, for sure. Hopefully, we can get him
Oh yeah,
in a
for sure.
good connection spot.
We always, I mean, dude, it wouldn't be the first and last hit if we didn't have technical difficulties. Literally
No,
every time.
but I mean, it's just not on everyone else's end. I mean, it's on our end too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
for the love of God. I mean, how many times have we had technical difficulties? And
Yeah.
there was
I
one
mean,
time we actually had technical difficulties on purpose.
oh
Um,
boy,
I
don't we
think
miss
we
don't we miss
lost.
old Albert?
Yeah, don't we miss old Albert Vladimir Kozlov Jr. the Third?
I
Oh, by the way, Albert Vladimir Kozlov the Third. You still owe Rico Porter some money.
all right. So we got Infinite Tim back. He was praying there for a minute, so
Hello.
we got him back.
Oh,
So Tim,
we're
how you
hoping.
doing today?
Again. No. Come on.
I mean, I'd come on, but I don't know where we're going. Like, tell me where we're going if I'm going to come on.
He's talking about the connection, dude.
Oh. I mean, I'm just saying, like, how, I mean, a little clarification would have been
Can you guys
nice.
hear me?
Now I'm embarrassed. Yes. We
Yeah,
can see you.
we can hear you and see you, but I don't know, for some reason it keeps
No.
freezing.
Bear with us a minute, everybody. It's been a hell of a week.
Very much so. But
Oh, yeah.
most important.
Mac, what's so funny, dude? Like,
I don't. I don't know. I just think our show is how would you say it? Uh, um,
a mixed bag of everything.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Oh,
Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. Shit doesn't go the way you want it to go.
And I'm gonna have to get through this whole show remembering that we're talking to Tim and not Jacob Fatu. I mean, I'll tell you, like, there's a couple of times I almost called him Jacob. So I apologize, Tim.
Well, I tell you what. He's the man of many names, and if we go back to and if we go back and we take it back to our high school days, there was one name that stuck out in particular. Man, that was Mr. Conference.
Yes, Mr.
Mr. Conference.
during that time in high school, I was already trying to be a pro wrestler. It's like I got just to be a little taste, but amateur wrestling and pro wrestling I found are two completely different things. I'm still trying to do wrestling moves I've seen on TV, and I'm just losing and losing. And eventually, my coach, Coach Saby, shout out to Coach Saby, Millbrook, Wildcats for life. But he sent me down. He was like, "You're talented and you can do the moves correctly, but it's like you gotta get out your head that this isn't the wrestling on TV. It's something different." So eventually, I'm head out of my backside, and I started listening, and I started winning, and eventually got to a point where my conference and gave my name Mr. Conference. So it's just a lot of nicknames that I've been building up as a kid, and here we are.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, I still have my yearbook, and I remember I always wanted to wrestle in high school. I just could never build my emotions up to it. And I remember you wrote in my yearbook, "If you don't try out for wrestling, I'm going to kick your ass."
I did wrestling in school
Thank you
for a little bit.
me. I gotta kick your ass.
Yeah.
I
Next
did
time
wrestling.
I'm at your show, you got to put me through a table or something.
I would love to see that.
We'll make something happen.
I did wrestling for a little bit in school, and I was never really like a popular kid. I was always the bully, just going around beating the hell out of everybody just for fun. And I always had this issue with my principal. We didn't like each other, and here come to find out he was the coach for the wrestling team. And so and to give you a little description, Mr. Williams is about my height, short, stocky little guy, square head, pointy ears, looks like a freaking leprechaun. So, and we had this big rivalry ever since like middle school because he was the assistant principal in the middle school and then went to the high school. So we were sitting there, and I finally said, "You know what? I love wrestling. I'll try out for the team." And didn't know he was the coach. So that first night, and actually the build up to it was did a couple practices, things like that. Well, here because he never really attended the practices, so one night I'm in the locker room getting changed and everything, and wrestler comes around and says, "What's up, Superman?" So now I got the nickname Superman, and that stems from I had originally challenged. I challenged the wrestling coach uh, with the stipulation that if I won, I got to be the principal for the day. Of course, he being as confident as he was, it takes me up on him like, all right, let's do it. And so we go in there. Well, here, I mean, he plays a real life heel too. I had to go through the whole wrestling team, match after match after match after match after match. Finally, afterwards, then he comes in with his, and I hate to relive this image. He comes walking in with his. I think he was wearing his singlet. And I'm like, all right, so let's do it. And this, I mean, he just bench presses me over his head and just drops me. I mean, just drops me. And I'm like, I could barely move that night. And like, all right, well, I got my ass kicked. So, and I ended up leaving and never to return again. And it's like, but to have that height of popularity in school, because like I said, I was very much the loner. I was not one to really be liked. And then after that, I got the nickname Superman. He got nicknamed Captain Crypto, you know, because and I never understood where Captain Crypto would come from until I realized that Kryptonite. That's why they nicknamed me Superman. Nickname, he's Captain Crypto. But so I did that, and then just later on got into mixed martial arts and stuff like that. But I do want to jump into something, Tim. You wrestled MJF,
Yes.
and he is one of my favorites. And what's your experience been meeting him, wrestling him, things like that? Because I hear people say that he is very much like his character, and he is an asshole. And on the other token, I've heard that he's a very, very nice guy.
Well, when I wrestled MJF, he was still coming up in wrestling, so he was much hungry, very much stern on what he wanted. So I never got to meet the sort of speak. I met someone who was aware of it in the business. So I can say perspectives, it could be labeled as an asshole or any type of way. Once you know you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing until everyone else gets to see it. So
Right.
I wouldn't really see an asshole, just someone in his journey. I got to create something really magical with him down in Indiana.
Nice.
So yeah, my thoughts.
Mac, you got it. You look like you're ready to jump in with some.
No, I was trying to fix the technical difficulties on our end, and
You always don't even get me started.
it's called the fur ball here, walking across the computer screens, and
Dude, just like throw
I'm
him in
gonna
the
have.
other room.
Technology.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you have a pretty good list of resume of a lot of wrestlers you've wrestled. So I can't name them all, and I lost the list because I screenshotted it. Um, but out of the list of wrestlers, who would you say you had the most fun with in the ring? Was it a couple, or um, was it just a few?
I'm
And then
sorry,
who
what's the
was
question again?
it? So out of everyone that you've wrestled, that's like up in the big league. Um,
Mm-hmm.
who was the most? Okay, so who was a pain in the ass to work with in the ring, and who was the most fun to work with in the ring?
I'd say the most fun is I'm being completely biased because it's my list. Too Cold Scorpio. He was literally the man that inspired wrestling. I thought, or same vicinity with him, let alone the ring with him. So when I got to, it was like I got to explore all the aspects of Too Cold. It was like we wrestled, we danced, uh, we went high flying against each other, uh, we beat the hell out of each other, and it was everything I wanted. It was like if I could go back and tell, I can do that because it's me telling the 8-year old that saw Too Cold Scorpio and tell him you're going to wrestle him just to see what the energy would be like for him. And it's like, it's a cool feeling. Um, I'd say the most painful and in the sense of hurting, I'd say Willie Mack because he is a hard hitting man. Um, and he makes you earn it. And and here's his demeanor. He's very cool, calm, collected, and that's just his style. But it's like when he's in the ring, he's ready to work. He's ready to put on a show. And it's like if you're not ready to do the same, he's gonna beat your ass. So once I say the first 2 minutes, I was still enamored about, oh man, I'm in the ring with Willie Mack. And then he slapped the shit out of me. And I was like, oh, I'm in the ring with
Time
Willie
to go.
Mack. Yeah. 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 But
Time to go.
I got to be in the ring with him 3 times, and each each time it was amazing. I learned something new, something different, and I was able to pass them on for him. A match we had down in Winston-Salem, he was working on a move he was doing in TNA and suggested it to him. And I didn't know he was going to do the damn move on me in the match. But but it was ironic. It was the same move that won him his first exhibition championship. It was a top rope stunner off the top rope. So it was like once I saw it on TV, it was like, man, that's amazing. That's dope. Just seeing something in your head and then being able to share it and then letting the world see it. It helped me detach from a lot of things I create, because sometimes as creators, we feel like it's ours, like it's my baby. It's like nobody else gets to have it. But you all have to realize once you share it with the world, it's no longer yours. So once I saw that, it was not in the sense of, man, he stole my shit. Because it was like, it wasn't my shit. It was something he had planned already. I just was able to help him make it a little bit more better. And once he did it, it was just after confirmation that I can do the same things and I'm just as creative. And when I put my mind, I could be a bad motherfucker. Excuse me.
Nope, you are definitely fine.
Oh yeah, for sure. When are you going pro? When are we going to see you in WWE, AEW, TNA?
That's the thing. I've been on WWE, well, the NXT brand. I think 2 times. I've been on AEW 3 times. So it's just the universe put me in places, and I'm just showing up my best self. I got to be in a lot of places, a lot of rooms where at times I didn't deserve to be there, but in retrospect and look back, now set me up for where I am now. So I'm really thankful. When the universe said so, if I need to be in those rooms again, I'll be ready.
Damn right you will, man. I have to say, dude, I've been following you since,
Day
high
one?
school career up until now. I couldn't tell you every match you did because you've done a hell of a lot. But hold on. I do have to tell you, dude, now that we're face to face, I'm proud of you, man, on what you have accomplished from high school to now, and just keep pushing, dude.
For sure, Tim. We're excited for you and know you're going to go big places. Real quick, though, we do have a comment, ironically enough, from our one of our sponsors decided to watch the show. Poseidon Plays wants to know.
It's our sponsor.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole Vince McMahon situation? Technical difficulties. We love them, don't we?
Yes.
Oh.
Please don't go away.
Give us a minute, those side, and we'll keep your comment up there. And
until Tim's able to answer.
There we go.
Cool. I gotta get close to my Wi-Fi.
All right. So, Tim, our sponsor, who happens to be a viewer, if you can still hear us, wants to know, what do you think of the whole Vince McMahon situation?
He's fixing his stuff, so
that's all right.
Why don't you give a yak at it until we get Tim back here? What do you think of the whole situation, AJ?
I don't like Vince. I always thought he was. Look at that.
Oh man, I thought that was Amy for a second. I was about to be.
But no, I've always thought Vince was a piece of shit.
I'm kidding.
I mean,
she did say that.
those are just my comments, and I'll leave my ranting for later on. But Tim,
Yeah. Anywho, this is my beautiful little baby, Destination 6. I
nice.
won it in Illinois.
It looks like a nice shiny belt. Look good right here.
Oh man,
So,
it's the Wi-Fi.
yeah, that's all right.
I wonder if we need to do a phone call.
Maybe, possibly. Did this man just go and change up his hairstyle? I feel like his hairstyle is different than it was at the beginning of the Tim, we love you, man.
The way the camera pauses on you.
Apologize for the connection here.
uh,
I'm sorry.
all right, no, you're good. Osai didn't plays. I wants to know what you think of the whole Vince McMahon situation.
Excuse me.
Oh, it looks like Mac ran off somewhere. So, oh, there he is. Peekaboo.
No, I don't know if you can hear. Okay.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Mac, he's looking at you with lust in his eyes. I can't. Dude, I can't with the way I can't with the way that the screen freezes.
Yeah.
uh,
Tim, are you able to hear us still or?
nope. uh,
Okay, so I'll answer on my end.
If Osiris is even still with us, it's showing that we got nobody in here. So
he's still here.
okay, good.
I don't know. The whole Vince McMahon situation. I think Vince McMahon's just a sadiq. I think he's just he's a fucking nasty dude. Excuse my language, but I mean,
I mean, look, I mean, I get it in a sense that, but at the same time, like for him to go that far, like I understand when it comes to, like these things happen, but the extent that he went to is just in the text messages and things that came out. It's it's hard. It's hard to read. I mean, I read through some of them, and it's just like, you know, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that there was at least some redeemable qualities about him, but not in the least. Let's try again.
If we need to switch the phone call, then
Possibly.
that'll work out as well.
Oh yeah.
If this doesn't work.
Although I do feel bad for poor Osai because he didn't ask us what we thought.
Well, I know. We're gonna try and.
All right, so we got a photo. We got a head turn. What are we looking at?
Dude, it's these pauses on the screen that are like so.
He's like, whoa,
monumental. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Um.
Speaking of, I caught a fish that was 20 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully.
Tim, are you back with us?
He was there for a
You
second.
hear me?
It's too early to determine.
Yeah, we heard you there for a short second, but
Oh.
Hello?
yes,
How you doing?
yes, we can hear you now.
Well, we
It
did
just
from
keeps freezing. Let's see.
Mac, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Trying to see.
For everybody who's watching and listening, we have our special guest, the infinite Tim, who has infinite problems with his internet.
Well, that was us that was me the other day. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, I know his feeling, dude. It is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Let's
Switch it to phone call.
yeah.
All right. Give me a minute here.
I'm not gonna kick him out. But...
Oh, gee, you wait. Wow, dude. Make me look like being an asshole, right? Like, why you do that to me, dude? Why you make me to be the bad guy? You've been hurting my feelings a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't take too much of offense to it. I do it to everybody. Mac just didn't excuse me. Didn't tell me ahead of time.
It's all right. You know what? We'll just do this right here.
Sponsors? Or
we'll just do this a little early. And
welcome
we
back.
are back. So I am texting with our
lovely guest, Jacob.
lovely guest, and we're going to try to
do a phone call.
Get a phone call in here. So I'm going to.
We will most certainly get your question answered. Let's try to here. Anyways, Mac, while we're waiting, you want to give everybody a word from our sponsors? Not yet. I can't hear you. Mac didn't even mute himself. Everybody, while we're trying to figure out what's going on with Max, on Mac's end. Mac, why are you staring at me like that, dude? Like, hold on here. Oh, okay. Well, everybody, bear with us for a hot minute. We're going to try to get everybody back in here. While we wait, though, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who tunes in, listens to us. We definitely appreciate all of your time that you give us. And
All right,
Matt,
we're gonna
back.
try this.
All right. Are we going to give a word from our sponsors?
Shout out to Osadin. He's in here today. Go check out his book, The Almighty Voyage, on all platforms.
Mm-hmm. If you don't want to read it, if you're not a reader, get the ebook or the audiobook and you can listen to them right here. You put the earbud in there and you listen to it, or a headset or something. And the good thing about that is you get a narrator who will read it to you. So go check him out. Great guy, great author. Go get his books. Like I said, if you don't want to read it, that's fine. Just listen to it. I promise you won't be disappointed. Maybe after you're done reading or after you're done listening to it, then maybe you'll decide to read it. If you guys need some good clothes, apparel, sportswear, go to Ball Club. They will make sure you have any type of apparel you need, a very decent price. Mac, who else we got?
AC's Cards and Collectibles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got your card. We got your collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
AC's Cards and Collectibles.
Mm-hmm. Reach out to one of us here and we will hook you up. Also, if you guys are looking for any self-defense or just looking for ways to beat the hell out of somebody, go check out Peter Watermeyer. He trains ages from in the womb all the way up to in the casket. Go check him out and he will train you and hook you up with any and all forms.
Yeah.
Who else we got, Mac? A-Win.
That's it.
We're not doing A-Win?
Back to our show.
Oh.
As we got the infinite Tim on the phone.
All right.
Hello.
Welcome back, Tim.
Let's give this a shout out.
All right, Mac.
Are you able to hear us both?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. We're gonna throw this question back up there, Mac. I'll let you read it this time.
All right. So one of our viewers, he's also a sponsor for us as well. Asked a question. He says, what do you think of the whole Vince McMahon situation going on right now in WWE?
Well, I give my take on given the situation of years of putting life, making it imitating art. It's like he was basically showing us his intentions, what he was doing, and the universe provided to show the light. So,
Definitely a one thing
amongst the employees, and I feel like all is well in the universe.
AJ, you had something to say?
Well, I mean, that is something like when it comes to the Vince McMahon situation, it's very much a hard left or a hard right on your stance, and then that really goes with any situation. So to hear Tim be so, I guess, calm about it and to just really give that type of response shows what type of man Tim is. It's, I mean, you get people outraged about it and justifiably so, but at the same time, it's one of those like, you can still have them type of feelings and not lash out about it. So, Tim, definitely that's really says a lot about your character, and I wish there was more people like you.
Yeah, especially in the wrestling business, man. I think if everyone had the same concept as you, man, I think the wrestling business would be 100% a lot better in my opinion.
Well, you have to take it in this stance. Like, we're all human, every single one of us.
Yep.
I know I don't have to know people's story to know they have one. I don't have to dig to know they have things that they wouldn't want people to see, even their mom to see, someone that minuscule, let alone the world to see in public. So no matter the level of those secrets, I mean, eventually the universe will show them, no matter how much you hide them, no how much money you have, no matter who you are, good or bad, the universe will provide. So, in a sense of that, I'm not saying that the things he was doing horrible. It was, but at the same time, a lot of good has come from this. A lot of people have shared their stories. A lot of people have gotten their resolve for years and years. And it seems as though he will be fine and the world will keep going. So I don't really attach myself to things like that because I know I'm a human. I'm going to mess up. But as long as I'm making those corrections, I can't really judge anybody because we all have cases in a sense. And the only one that can judge us is the universe.
Totally agree. I totally agree on that. So, Tim, why the move to Ohio? What brought you to Ohio?
The universe. I'm probably going to sound redundant by saying this, but the universe is my ultimate booker. I've done a lot of wrestling. I've done a lot of creating in North Carolina. I have a lot of good accolades where I can sit and look back and be happy on. But every so often, as creators and artists, we hit a glass ceiling. We feel as though we've done all we can do in certain places, especially our hometowns, because in our hometowns, a lot of people have seen us grow, seen us learn those hard lessons, not losses, because those losses are essentially lessons that we learn to move on and better ourselves.
Yep.
So once I analyzed that and realized how I approached certain things is why I'm not getting the things I want to do, or the relationships I had in wrestling were as fickle or wasn't as strong as I thought. So once I gathered all that and realized I didn't have anything to lose, I took a chance up in Ohio. A guy named Brandon Xavier really believed in me and wanted his kids to get an idea of my perspective of wrestling. So he took a chance on me and literally drove 11 hours to come get me. 11 hours down, 11 hours back. I'll always be grateful and thankful that he took a chance on me because things like that is important, especially for people who are trying to find their way. And I've been here since last November, and it's been a journey. I can't say difficult. I can't say anything because I know it's mine. And if it wasn't for me, I wouldn't be up here. So I just been up here unlearning things, trying to learn new things. Took the lessons I've had in North Carolina and applying up here. And I can honestly say it's been a very good perspective to seeing both sides of me. And I'm the head trainer of Mega Championship Wrestling. So I get to help mold the future, not just in Ohio and the Midwest, but in professional wrestling because I have some very talented kids. I'm also doing a lot of good stuff in the Midwest. I've been reaching out and doing some more stuff in Canada recently. So just getting out and being in the wild to see that I can survive anywhere has been a very gratifying situation for me.
So you got a good story to tell, man, and your story ain't finished yet. You got You got a lot of chapters to write. So let's take it back to what was your first championship that you won in your wrestling career?
My very first championship was the Gouge, North Carolina Championship. Gouge is a wrestling promotion down in Raleigh, North Carolina. It stands for Gimmicks Only Underground. It's been so long. Hold on, I don't want to disrespect because it's literally my home promotion. So I really hope my trainer's not listening right now. His name is Seymour Snott. He's an awesome wrestler.
Very awesome, dude. I've had him on the show a couple of times. Very awesome guy.
Did he tell you he was trained in APW? That was with John Cena, the Great Khali, around Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, guys like that?
Yo, yeah, he was telling me about the match with him and the Great Khali, and I was like, holy shit, dude. I don't know how you got through that one.
Yeah, and that was a young, strong, athletic Great Khali that was green in the business. So I can only imagine the loss he was taking.
Yeah, I remember him saying that the Great Khali had him up in the air. I was like, oh my God. I could imagine that bump. Oh my gosh.
Like falling from a 10-story building.
Who's the tallest wrestler you've wrestled?
Tallest wrestler I've ever wrestled. I would have to say man, that's a good question. Joshua Cutshaw.
Okay.
He's a pretty tall fella. But I guess because I'm not really the tallest, so everyone could really be taller than me. So
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". Okay, well, you're taller than my co-host. I think he had to step away from for a business call real quick, but I think he's like 5'5", 5'6", something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is Gimmicks Only Underground Grappling Entertainment.
Nice.
That was the first promotion that gave me a chance. It was crazy too. It was like the first time I saw a ring, I was like near it. It was like I know I couldn't get in right now, but I didn't know I wanted to get in it.
Yeah. And then I think the next title you won in Gouge was Amy.
Yes, my baby Amy. She was literally the first championship I saw, and I said, I want that championship. I manifested that championship. And looking back, just as I say that now, it was just proof of what we speak and put in the universe is true. So it was like the first person I saw have it was a guy named Mickey Gambino.
No.
And he was just a stout, strong, mean looking man. But when I was wrestling and just coming up in wrestling, I was having these good matches. I wouldn't say good. I would say okay or decent, given I was only in for like 6 months. It's funny because my only dream when I started wrestling was not to suck. Not just because it was like I couldn't beat up all the kids I was beating up with wrestling moves, doing moves to my sisters and cousins, and come out and I sucked at wrestling. That would have broke my heart. So I'm thankful that I got some idea of it. But back to the story. I just had a match down at Zebulon, North Carolina, I was taking my gear off, and he walked up to me, and I'm not gonna lie, like sitting down in the chair and looking down, you're still doing business. Everybody looks like a giant. So he walked up to me, and I think I'm either in a seat or I did something wrong. And he was like, "Hey kid, I talked to Grog, and you're wrestling me next show." And I think for 10 seconds, I was wondering why. And then my trainer, Seymour, he came up. He said, "Mickey really liked your stuff, and he wants to wrestle you." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And at the time, that was like my really first challenge. And little did I know, after our first match, he had told me why he wanted to wrestle me. It's like, "Hey, I like the way you wrestle, like you push yourself and you push the people around you. I want that." So we literally had almost like a best of 5 series. It wasn't for a championship. It was just wrestling each other. By that time, he had lost the championship to Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. And we just kept wrestling and wrestling. And it was 4th of July. And before they stopped doing it, and I hate that I don't know if they're changing. I hope they do. Raleigh would allow Gal to have a wrestling show down in the middle of downtown Raleigh. So it was like all those people just walking by, just celebrating 4th of July, and they got to just see wrestling too. So who knows the real number down there? All I know, that was packed. And he just told me, "We're going to steal the show." And I didn't know the real terminology of it. I was like, "What's that mean?" So we go out there, and I can't hear myself think. Everyone's just screaming and yelling. And it's like, I can't see the street. There's so many people. So we go out there, and we're just going and going. And people just chanting, going crazy. And this is blowing my mind. Because as a kid, you play the video games, you watch the TV, you see the pay-per-views, you see all of that. But when you're in it, it's like when you hear those interviews, how magicians or actors or artists, they'll tell you it's like a drug. It really is. It's like everything that in your head that you're thinking of that's weighing you down the second you're around that. Like people that love the same thing that you do and is cheering for you because you're performing in the thing that we all love. And you're doing it to the point where they want to give you their energy, positive energy, whatever, negative energy, whatever the season may bring in that. I'm forgetting what the world is doing to me in this moment of time because of what you're doing for me. And that shit is addictive. Yeah. So I got hooked right then and there. So by the time the match ended, they're just screaming 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And we just look at each other and we look at Grog and he's like, "Make it 15. And we just go ballistic. And I didn't know what ballistic in the terms of wrestling was, but to me, I felt like we were ballistic. So we were ballistic, damn it. And it was just after the match, we're just done. I'm sore as hell. I think my nose was bleeding after. He just walked up to me, shook my hand, and hugged me. He's like, for a long time, I was doubting myself as a wrestler until I got to wrestle you. And he thanked me and he just walked away. And then Seymour came up to me, hugged me. And like Seymour didn't give me like the handshake or the side hug, but like he walked up to me, he hugged me like a coach would hug his player, or almost as a dad that hugged his son that was very proud of him.
Yep, I know the coach hugging a player part. I've been coaching football for the past 7 seasons now.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I too know what it's like to win not championship belts, but I do know what it's like to win some championships. Out of 7 seasons, we've won 3 district championships and we've almost gone further than that, but yeah.
Like once you see and like you humanize it, you get the underlying messages. Like, because sometimes we doubt ourselves, or in the sense of like you're saying, coaches, you get frustrated. You want to yell, you want to scream, you want to like do whatever you can, but it's not through hate. It's because you want to see those kids be their absolute best.
Yeah.
And when you have those moments, you do, and then they realize it, and then you both have that moment like you did it. It wasn't because of you, it was guidance of you, but they ultimately chose themselves to pursue something and they saw it through. And that moment is something that a lot of people take for granted. It's a beautiful feeling.
It is. It is a it's a wonderful feeling. And speaking of gouge, I remember the day I came. I remember the day me and my cousin came to your show. I think it was in Fuquay. I forgot. I think was it the Flying Goat Brewery or something like that down in
Flying
Fuquay.
Goat.
Yep, I remember. Quick little story here for you. We got there and I had to walk back to my car to get my phone. And we were walking back and we were grabbing a beer. And we got set up and your match was about to come out. And I remember before the show, you were like, don't cheer for me. And at the time, I mean, I watched wrestling, but I mean, I was still, like figuring out, what the hell is a heel and what the hell is a baby face at the time. And uh, so while everyone was booing you, I was cheering for you, and somebody in the back says, "Why are you cheering for him? He's the bad guy." And I was just into it, and we were standing there, and my cousin was cheering for you also, and somebody also said, "Oh, don't cheer the bad guy, cheer for Seymour." Um,
Seymour.
but funny little fun. So there was that day there was a tag team match. I forget who it was against, but they were like out in the crowd, and they took one of the fans' beers, and they were getting ready to throw it into the other wrestler's face. And so happens I was standing right behind that wrestler, and he ducked, and I got me a little beer back that day.
Nice.
No. And he said, "Well, you're sure it's going to be worth more now?" And I was like, "Yeah, well."
You know what though I find interesting, and I don't think Tim actually knows this. All this time, he's actually known a childhood celebrity. Mac, you were recognized on a cruise for being everybody's favorite childhood dinosaur.
Oh, fuck you, asswipe.
So, Tim, I'd just like to ask you, how does it feel to meet and know and be close
Well,
to
here, I'll tell the story if you want to go that far.
All right.
So if we're talking stories here, so me and my wife were on a cruise, and it was formal night, so you got to dress up. So hear me, I'm wearing white khakis and a purple dress shirt. Style, man, and I had to watch my half brother gave me, and styling on him, looking good. I was feeling good. We were going to dinner, and met the comedian there at dinner. I took a picture with him, and he was like, "Come check out the show tonight." It's like, okay. I didn't know I was going to be a part of the show. So we get in there, and he was like, "Hey, before we start the show, we got a very special guest from everyone's childhood." Puts the spotlight on me and says, "Barney the bleeping dinosaur, stand up and give yourself a round of applause."
He got you. No.
But I can walk around places. I was at I forget where I was at. Um, but I got mistaken for Braun Strowman one day. It's like yeah, you got the wrong person.
Oh, man, you used it wrong. I was like, all right, man, you want a picture? It's $150.
Well, as I sit here and I look back at as I look on my phone, Tim, one name comes across. I'm wondering if you've ever wrestled before. Have you ever wrestled the current, I believe, yes, still the current TNT champion, Adam Copenhagen?
I have not, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. And Mac, I'll have to share that story with you too. Apparently, he got into an argument with somebody who didn't know the difference between Adam Copeland and Edge, and keeps referring to him as Adam Copenhagen. So, but is MJF so far the biggest name that you've stepped into the ring with, or have you wrestled like even more top tier superstars on that same level?
I would be thankful to say I've wrestled a lot of men and women and others on that same level.
Oh, okay.
I'd say a few. Thunder Rosa.
Nice. Okay.
Like I stated before, Willie Mack, Austin, Trey Miguel.
Nice. Okay.
All of the Rascals. Al Snow, Buddy Murphy,
Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer.
Nice. Okay. Innovator of violence right there.
Ricky Morton, Kerry Morton,
Okay.
the Rock and Roll Express.
Barney the fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be in the ring with a lot of great people.
I mean, a lot of the names, some of the names you mentioned there are most certainly legends. You talk about the Rock and Roll Express, Hall of Famers. I'm most certainly looking forward to your future in wrestling, and I can't wait to see how far you go.
I thank you. I appreciate that.
I did hear something about the TNT champion Adam
Unfortunately, he
Adam
hasn't
Copenhagen.
Unfortunately, he has not wrestled Adam Copenhagen.
Well, no, it's Adam Copeland, but so funny story. I was talking to a guy. I don't know where I was at. I think I was at Walmart, and he was saying something about Edge, which is Adam Copeland in AEW, and it's like, so have you it's like, so did he showed me he saw I had on my shirt, and he says so you see Adam Copenhagen won the TNT title, and I'm like, oh, you mean Adam Copeland, Edge from WWE, who's now in AEW? And he goes, no, Adam Copenhagen. I'm like,
Oh, for the love of God.
love God.
Apparently, the guy knows Edge from WWE, but apparently he thinks he's a completely different person than Adam Copenhagen.
Well, that's At that point, it is what it is, right? I mean,
Essentially.
Yeah.
so
So I had wrestling one Adam as an Adam Page.
Oh,
I did get a chance to watch that match, and that was a beautiful match. I must say that was a very good match. You both put on one hell of a show.
Thank you.
Um,
It's fortunate enough to have like a lot of matches with him down up in West Virginia. A little small promotion that unfortunately closed down due to one individual that wasn't nice in the business. I'll leave it at that. But unfortunately, his computer was taken, so a lot of good matches. One that had me and Adam Page in ladder match would unfortunately never see the light of day.
yeah, that sucks. And speaking of that promotion, I think that was down in
Bluefield, West Virginia.
my hometown. I remember. I know the exact place they wrestled at. I don't even think that place exists anymore. Actually, the last time I've been down there.
Nah, they probably changed it. Man, that ring was small.
Yeah, it was. that was that was a very that was a very small ring. I was like, it literally you could put two action figures in in a sense of that. Um, but I do want to kind of skip forward here and talk about your Destination 6 World Heavyweight Championship match at going in for the kill against Dante.
Dante Leon.
Uh, what's your mindset going into this match, and how do you feel how do you feel about it?
Well, how I feel about it is very simple. He's a very talented individual. He's wrestled all over the world. He's currently in Japan, I believe, for DDT Pro. Don't quote me on that. You can fact check me, please do. I've got to study a lot of his stuff, and he's very creative with his offense. And it's going to be fun matching his style up against mine because I really feel like I've been able to learn the tricks and the trades. Not everything, but a good notion of different styles of where I can change up my need to match up if I have to and have a good back and forth. Where I am with my career, and literally in a sense of elevation, win, losses, essentially losses are lessons. So if that becomes the case where I need to learn this lesson, I'll learn it. But I have faith in myself knowing that I didn't do all this drive all the way to Illinois just to hold that championship for one title defense. So he's going to be flying in from Japan and flying out with a great sense of pride in what he creates. But he's not leaving with my destination championship. Respectfully.
I like that, respectfully.
I hope you respectfully whoop his ass.
So are you the heel going into this, or are you the face?
That's the beautiful thing about this. I'm whatever I need to be.
I like that.
I've always considered myself both because, just like I say, we're human. We're capable of being both. So why not be aware of being both? I'm not going to come in trying to lie to you and say, I'm just going to shake your hand. I know what your intentions are. And that's fine. You're in this business to do so. I'm aware of that. I'm not naive to think like, oh, this is going to be mine forever. It's like, no. When you first said so, and if the better person comes in, that'll be the case. But I don't feel as though that is coming up this weekend. Yeah.
on that note, everybody, we need to start wrapping up here. So, Tim, we loved having you on the show. We need to get you back on here. Mac, is there anything you want to conclude with before we?
Oh yeah. Like I said, man, in the beginning, I'm proud of how far you came, and I can't wait to see you do more beautiful and great things to come for you. And can't wait to see where your career takes you. You're a very good learner. And I like seeing you kick ass. So
I appreciate your words, truly. I understand how hard it is for people sometimes to say things that they really feel, let alone people that they have somewhat admiration for or a good respect for. So for you to have the courage to say that to me, I truly, truly, truly appreciate your words. And I just want to say I'm very proud of you for being a great dad, for being a coach, and just becoming the man that you are. And I hope nothing but great things is in the way for you.
appreciate that, and stick around after the show. Real quick, we'll talk for a few minutes, and yeah. But other than that, we like to do a little thing here. I know you can't see us, but we do a little thing. It's not sweet.
It ain't tasty.
And
All
Tim,
right,
it's
Miss-
time for you to sweet your arse out our studio. And
We
with
love
that
you
being
all.
said,
Be safe. Be good. We love you guys. Catch you tomorrow.
catch you tomorrow. And by the way, hit my music.